Hey y'all, Jordan Moorhead here with Keller Williams Realty. Wanted to do a quick market update for the Austin-Round Rock Metro. We just got the May market stats here, and we're gonna compare April to May and then look at some year-over-year stats. Just talk about what we're seeing in the market, what you can expect as a buyer, and what you can expect as a seller. So as you can see here, looking at the stats, median sales price is flat right now. Technically, per the stats, it came down $100 per month, but it's flat. Closed sales actually up about 500. Now that's pretty normal. May and June are our busiest month for closed sales. So we're typically going to see this. Um, the sales dollar volume, of course, that came up to more homes sold. So the dollar volume of homes sold is going to be higher when more sell. Months of inventory, now that came down month over month, and I'll tell you why here. So months of inventory is a measure of how many homes are selling, and it's the best measure of supply and demand we can come up with for real estate sales. They they say that over 6 months of inventory is a buyer's market, and under 6 months is a seller's market. Now, that being said, we are absolutely in a buyer's market here in the Austin, Texas metro. And it's sort of pretty flat there when we're looking at supply and demands. We had 3,000 closed on the market. We have 14,673 versus April. We had roughly 2,500 closed on the market. We had roughly 13,300. So more closed in May, but more sitting on the market at the same time. So that months of inventory, that supply and demand measure came down a little bit because we had more closed than came to the market. Now, that being said, our new listings are almost even month over month. Again, more closed in May versus April, but about the same amount came on the market, and more are now sitting on the market active than were in April. So I don't have time to go through all the specific math here, but if you're looking at the active listings in April, 13,351. In May, we're at 14,673. 500 more sold in May, so that month's inventory went down a little bit. Pending sales, obviously that's way up in May too. So we had 3,000 pending sales in April, and that jumped up 1,500 more. So it's leading us to look like probably going to see months of inventory fall a little bit again once we get the June stats, but our pending sales are up 1,500 more. So those are all going to likely close in June. Some of those will fall out of contracts, and not all of those 1,500 are going to close, but most of that will close in June, and that'll bump that closed sales up a little bit. Average days on market, we're down to 57 average days on market. Now, this is cool because we've been hovering in the high 70s for the last few months. We're down to 57 days on market. That dropped dramatically. Again, I wouldn't read into that too much. That's pretty common for this time of year. This is when we really see the days on market compress because most people, especially in Austin here, most people are trying to get their home purchased in the spring here, maybe go on that summer vacation and be back in time for school to start. So we're going to see stuff slow down a little bit in July when it gets hot, and then pick back up right before school starts, and a little bit into the fall here. We have a little bit of a fall pop, August through, let's call it early October. But we're really trying to squeeze that stuff in now before everybody goes on that summer vacation. Average close to list price, it's pretty similar. So right around 95% of the list price. Now, again, I know I say this every time, but this is not my favorite measure because it's assuming everybody prices their home correctly, which a lot of people do not. I would say the large majority do not. Everybody wants more than their home's actually worth. You can look at all the comps in the neighborhood and see, hey, my home's worth 450. I actually want to price it at 500 though. I really don't want to leave any money on the table. Common thing we hear is I really want to leave people room to negotiate. That's not the right pricing strategy, but it feels right to most people. So we see that happen a ton. And then the home doesn't sell at 500,000. You have to cut it, and it sells it 450. So average close to list price is just staying pretty constant. You know, we were seeing this really close to 100% in early 2022. We're 95% now. It's been pretty constant here. So what does this mean for sellers? I'll start there with sellers. So for sellers, we're still selling properties. We're having a much easier time selling nice properties that look amazing in great areas that are priced well. So that what I'm saying there is we just sold one in the Legend Oaks neighborhood. Sold it for right at 700,000. Property was amazing. Really nice property. Legend Oaks is a really nice neighborhood, close-ish to downtown Austin. So you're 15 minutes away from downtown Austin. But you're still in a great area. You have access to everything you ever want. It's a nice, quiet community. We sold that in less than a weekend. We're seeing other houses that are priced well sell within a few weeks. But again, the average time we're seeing homes sell right now is a 60 to 90 day mark. So as you can see here, average days on market last month was 76 days. Average days on market this month, 57 days. So that's priced well, looks good, in a good area. When you move one of those factors, if you're not priced well, game over, everything is done. If it doesn't look great, game over, everything is done. It's in a rough area, or if it's not the best area, price can fix that because there's still a lot of investors out there looking, and there's still a lot of people looking just to buy a cheap property. So price can fix everything, but buyers are getting incredibly picky right now. So as a seller, if you're a house flipper, if you're thinking about putting your home on the market here soon, make it look amazing. Buyers are not overlooking small things. They're not saying, "Oh, I'll go replace that floor. I'll go replace that carpet." You know, I know the paint isn't great right now, but I'll do that later. Buyers are not doing that right now. They're saying, "I want everything and I want it for a great price." So be ready to do that if you're going to sell right now, or be ready to take a big discount. As a buyer, this is an amazing opportunity here. So this is a buyer's market. Everybody says, "Oh, I can't wait until it's a buyer's market. I'm going to buy." And then nobody wants to buy when we hit a buyer's market because not everybody's buying. We're in a buyer's market. Great time to buy properties. I'm not going to be out there saying date the rate, marry the home. Absolutely do marry the home. Find that perfect property that you like and take advantage of it. Get a great price on it now. I don't know when rates are going to come down. It could be this summer. It could be this fall. Could be next summer. It could be 2 years from now. I have no idea. I don't know when they're going to come down. I don't know how much they're going to come down. But it's a phenomenal time to buy a home right now because you're going to get a great deal on it. You can negotiate in everything you want. You can get repairs done. You can get rate buy downs. You can get credits. You can get a great price. You can get that perfect home in that perfect area. We've lost 20 to 30% depending on where you're at in Austin when it comes to the price of homes. So it's a phenomenal time to get homes. I've been seeing homes in the best areas of Austin at prices I haven't seen since 2020. And you can get those deals. So if you've got a little bit of courage, it's a phenomenal time to be a buyer. That being said, the rates are right around 7%. I don't know when they're going down. So make sure you take that into account when you're out there looking at homes. That could change. When it changes, I think you're going to see a lot more competition. I don't know when it's going to change. I don't know how much it's going to change by. I just know that I know nothing when it comes to rates. I'm still buying investment properties right now, and I'm excited to buy deals right now that work because in the future, when rates do come down, I'm going to refinance. When that is, I have no idea. If you're a buyer, take advantage of it though. Find a great deal right now, and you'll be very happy you did. Hope you all are having a great day. I'll talk to you soon.